Well, here it is a little while later. I guess you can see what I got. Anyway, I just finished doing this one here. Let it sit a while and I'll come out and finish it off a little bit. Just using a couple chunks of old lumber for my floats and whatnot. And anyway, it's going to be fine to just set that little shed wall on. So I'll be back. Well, it's Friday here at the other place, and I guess you can see the guys out back there are hard at it. So I figured I'd probably better do the same. And I've been to the Getting place, and I guess we can see what I got there. Bunch of 2x4x8s, some of the OSB, which I'm going to use for my siding. Some of this clear polycarbonate for my roof. Miscellaneous screws and stuff there. Anyway, so basically what I got here is a shed in a rabbit. And actually I got a couple different thumbs up on the way home from the Getting place. I guess just on my loading job and the fact that this little old truck will do what it's doing here. So anyway, I'm going to get at it. I've got the implements of destruction out here, and it's time to check the blueprints and see what we're doing. We'll see if you guys can see my blueprints there. Yeah, that's my drawing for my shed here, and that's what I based my material acquisition on. So anyway, we'll check these prints here. Well, I've been following my detailed plans there, and here's what I got so far. I got 2 sidewalls built, and got to figure out the end wall, the long one, 12 foot. And anyway, so I guess I'm going to build Sunday that next here at the other place, and I'm back on this this shed project. Anyway, somewhere while I was gone, my detailed blueprints, detailed plans that I'd drawn up were gone. So now I'm just winging it. And actually, the roofing material that I'm using, the polycarbonate, when I was grabbing it out of the bin, the guy was helping me, and I asked him, you know, is this 24 or 32? And he said 32 wide. A lot of the building material is 32 inches wide when you're building, you know, steel buildings, whatever, metal buildings. And anyway, it turns out it's 24. So I'm going to have to buy one more sheet of that. And also the way it's shaped, I started rethinking things, and I think rather than put rafters on this building, I'm going to go ahead and use purlins. I'm pretty sure they're called purlins. Anyway, so that means everything's turned sideways the other way. Fortunately, in doing that, I actually end up with more material than less. I ended up scrounging and used a couple of used boards I had laying around here already, but I should end up with extra by the time I'm done. And then to tie the walls, the side walls together, I'll just have a truss at the opposite end of this this end wall, the opposite end, and then maybe I'll build one right in the center. I'll have to see how things look when I'm all done, just to tie the walls together side to side on the way down rather than using the rafters. Anyway, I guess we'll all see how it works out. Plan is to go ahead and get these walls and this end built and sheeted on the ground, since I'm using this OSB here. You know, it's not the best weather exposure stuff, but with 2 or 3 good coats of paint on it, it'll be fine. And so I was going to go ahead and get them built on the ground and sheeted and painted really well, especially around the edges where the water gets in. And then stand them up and give it another coat of paint. So anyway, that's what I'm fixing to do, and I'll come back when I get a little something done. Well, it's a while later out here, and guess you can see what I'm doing here. I got my frame for my end made up here, and then I got my boards laid down the way I want them, my sheathing, whatever you want to call it. And I got to get it situated here. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my lines on it around here and pre-cut. Then I'm going to take this frame here and flip it in the correct orientation and set it over there where the foundation area is. Get some weird light here. Over here, I'll go ahead and lay a couple of 12 footers across and lay my frame on it with the, and then go ahead and screw my boards, my sheathing on it, and then we'll just paint it while it's laying there. And when it's time, all we got to do is stand her up here against the fence, and then we'll do these walls, same kind of deal, lay them down, get them sheathed and painted, and we can just stand them in place. And then I'll just stick together the purlins and whatnot, and strengthen it up and put some roofing on it. Okay, end wall's in place here. So basically all I got to do is, when it's time, is stand it up and put the sidewalls in there. Do have this old plumbing business here that I'm gonna have to go ahead and just notch a little bit in the bottom board there. I use pressure treated on the bottom, and it'll be fine. And the way I'm building this, the siding part, the sheathing is actually going to be sticking out, hanging out just a little bit over the lip here, not extending below, but just outside. So that'll keep a lot of the moisture off of this guy as well, being as it's old and, you know, kind of ugly. But that was one of my fixes there. And then the other one where it was all busted out here is over here. And anyway, so it's in place, can be painted before we even stand it up. We can get all the edges and everything coated really well. What we got is some of this stuff. Same thing we painted the house with a couple years ago. And I guess we can see what it is. It's good paint. It's not cheap. Anyway, so it'll last a long time. Give it 2 or 3 good coats of paint before we stand it up, let it soak in real well, and we'll be jamming. Anyway, thanks for watching.